With everything that Mario's been through, it's hard to be surprised in where we'll see him next. But this wasn't always the case. I am the Game Collector, and this is Second Opinion Games. And today we look at Unexpected Mario.
Second Opinion Games.
The first time I ever seen Mario in a spot where I didn't quite expect to see him was in tennis for the original NES. Now, he's just a judge, and he's kind of there for eye candy in general, but his language skills aren't really that good. It's just a lot of bleeps and blooping, and this game itself is pretty bad. On top of it, I don't even think that Mario's that good of a judge, which is extra curious when I saw him in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! This time around, you could kind of make out what he's saying. I'm not sure if this is some type of early version of compressed speech, or if this is just the chipset making these funny sounds that I make the equivalent of speech to Mario. And also, again, I really question his refereeing skills. You know, the normal TKO sounds right, but since when has Little Mac been even in the same weight class as some of these people? And can you really wear a turban in the ring? And I am 100% sure that whatever the heck is going on here is definitely illegal. Mario might be a terrible referee, but he is an excellent sports star. Now, during the GameCube and Wii days, tons of different games were made, with Mario being the lead focus in sporting events, whether it be basketball, soccer, hockey, or anything that you could possibly think of. I'd even be surprised if there wasn't a Mario cricket out there somewhere. But seeing him snowboarding, well, that was something different altogether. It's one thing when you're playing the Olympic Games, and it's another thing when you're going up against real-life people in SSX on tour. As if seeing Mario shred down the mountain wasn't enough to blow your mind, he also brought with him all of the Mario sound effects that you've come to love and enjoy. However, the music is now licensed, so the mixture of these two worlds colliding is simply insane. You also get to see how short Mario really is next to a real-life human, and he really doesn't seem fat anymore. It's probably because of him doing all these sports. All that cardio is definitely a good workout. When I first got my Sega Genesis, the first game I've ever owned was Sonic the Hedgehog Part 2. And when I got to the casino level, my mind was blown on how well Sonic actually played as a pinball game. Later, the developers probably noticed this too, because they came up with a whole Sonic Spinball game that just wasn't nearly as good as this level from the classic Genesis game. And one of the things I loved about it is how easily it was to control Sonic even when floating through the air. Imagine being able to control the ball with this ease and precision. Nintendo didn't understand any of that, and they made Mario in Pinball Land for the Game Boy Advance. The game starts off showing off what Mario likes to do for fun, forming toads into cannonballs, firing them from cannons in the targets. Yeah, he is a complete and total sicko. When Princess Peach tries this, oh my god, she gets kidnapped again! So then Mario only has to transform himself into a ball to be shot around a playfield. Now, I don't know why he would do this. Mario, you have no Chocobo DNA whatsoever. Forming into a ball like this would kill you. Please don't do it. And he went and did it anyway. All the Mario sound effects that you've come to love are totally here, including a very chatty Mario. He always is saying wahoo and weird crap like that. The graphics here aren't too bad, but the controls are what's really lackluster. You can only control the flippers, and you can't control Mario himself. If they only added that little tiny detail of being able to move the ball just the way you want to maybe make the game a little bit more playable, this would have been an excellent experience. You collect stars and move through different worlds. Occasionally there's even a huge boss battle that you have to take down just to mix things up. There are plenty of to do here in Pinball Land, and that's really good. For some reason, the game is actually quite long, and that's probably for the replayability factor. However, most people that played this don't want to ever replay it ever again. I guess they should have refined the controls a little bit more, and then they would have actually had a better game where people would want to replay it. Later, when I was playing Sonic Advance on my GBA, I was thinking, I wonder if I've ever seen Mario outside of a Nintendo console. And no, I don't want to go into the CDI anywhere near this video. That's for a later date. No, instead, I'm talking about on the Dreamcasts. And that's where Super Mario War comes in. Now, this is a homebrew game that was burned to a CD and given to me way a long time ago. It's 2 to 4 player, and it's basically just Mario trying to jump on different clones of Mario's heads. Now, if you go through the right of the screen, you come out the left. And if you go through the bottom, you come down through the top. And this is the ultimate Mario Battle Royale. You don't have any fireball power-ups or even a freaking run button. It's just Mario moving left and right and jumping on other Mario's heads. Now, where this game really shines is the really cool sound effects. It seems that people ripped off the voices from Unreal Tournament and added them to this game. So hearing Mario squash someone's head and then the words double kill come out, this is extremely satisfying. Hear multi-kill and kill-tacular and weird stuff like that just blows me away. This game is actually a ton of fun to play if you happen to have 3 to 4 people. If it's just 2 of you, well, it's kind of boring, so make sure you sit down for a house party and play this one as soon as you can.
Perfect.
Now, one of the times I expected to see Mario in a game is when I picked up Mario Land 3 for my original Game Boy. However, Wario seemed to jump in and take over the whole darn thing. Mario isn't even in here, even though his name is the first part of the freaking title. The enemies aren't really that recognizable either. They don't feel like traditional Mario enemies. So things have been really screwed up. So you know where I didn't expect to see him is in a Wario game. Wario Twisted for the Game Boy Advance is a terrific micro minigame, and my favorite level in the entire game is the Mario levels. Now, there's only 3 levels here, and they all are very short. There's a classic remake of the very first Mario Brothers level, there's an underground level, and of course, there's a boss dungeon without King Bowser anywhere in sight. Also, there's no fire flowers in this game, just a mushroom that makes you a bit bigger. There are plenty of mushrooms to stomp on, and you have to move left and right by tilting your GameCube or Game Boy Advance, depending on how you're playing it. Which, yeah, doing capture on this is quite difficult if you could even imagine. However, these are really fun levels to play, and I went through them quite a bit back in the day. And I remember wishing that they would make a full-on Nintendo game just off of these controls. It's simply a masterpiece, so I might as well show them all to you. Now, we all expect to see Mario being the hero, but one thing I didn't expect is to see him as the villain in Donkey Kong Jr., and it really shows Mario's true colors here, caging up Donkey Kong himself and having his son try to rescue him. Mario has a whip where he whips different animals and forces them to attack this baby freaking monkey that's just trying to save his dad. This truly shows how evil and cynical Mario really is, and it makes me think that maybe Luigi is the true hero after all. So I wonder, what about Unexpected Luigi? Well, that's exactly what you get if you have Super Mario World and the All-Stars game all in one cartridge. It's only in this version of the game. When you go into Super Mario World, make sure you set it for 2 players and pick Luigi. Now you'll notice that this time around, he's not just a simple sprite swap with Mario. No, he has his own animations. For example, when he slides instead of on his butt, he slides on his knees. When he stomps enemies to death, it isn't with his freaking feet like some type of savage. It's with his butt like everybody else. And when he picks up that fire flower, he is a little bit allergic to them, as every single time he coughs, freaking fireballs shoot out of his mouth. Also, take notice to his feet lifting off the ground when he coughs. You know, this little attention to detail is simply amazing. Also, one final thing, when he clears a level, then you get to see him crossing his arms and standing like, what? And he definitely shows that he isn't afraid of no ghosts, going into those ghost house as brave as can be. You know what? I expect a lot of things from Mario in the future, but these are all the times that I really didn't expect to see him doing the things that he did or showing up where he showed up. But of course, this is all my opinion. Thanks for watching.
Yeah! Yeah! Oh yeah! Yeah!
Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I had a great time making it. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time, and I want to do more videos that are somewhat outside the box. So if you have any crazy ideas for videos that no one else will even touch or think about doing, well, maybe I really will. So make sure you leave me a message, and until later, I will see you again, guys.